Hey everybody, Mr. Youngman here, and today we're going to be taking a look at how to create text inside of Adobe Premiere Pro using the Essential Graphics panel. Let's go ahead and get started by opening Adobe Premiere Pro. I'm going to open Adobe just by going to my search at the top right of the screen and searching for Premiere Pro. We're currently using Adobe Premiere Pro 2021, but this may change in the future. Now, just while we're loading up here, let's talk for a minute about why we might want to make text inside of Adobe Premiere Pro instead of doing it inside of Adobe Photoshop. And in a word, convenience. It's a lot faster and a lot easier to make our text elements, make our graphics inside of Adobe Premiere Pro if we have that option. One important note though, it is a lot easier to make high quality graphics inside of Adobe Photoshop compared to Adobe Premiere Pro. So Adobe, you're going to use it for speed. Adobe Premiere Pro, that is going to be used for speed, but Adobe Photoshop is going to be used for making a nicer, higher quality graphics. Now that Adobe has finished loading here, let's go ahead and get started by hitting New Project at the top left of the screen. And as always, we're going to want to give this a name. So I'm just going to call this Essential Graphics Assignment. And just because why not, I'm going to add my name on there as well. We're going to go to Browse to make sure we're saving this in a location where we can actually find it. Go to our desktop folder, and you guys kind of know the drill with this by now. I'll go to my folder and just hit Choose. I'm going to go ahead and press OK now. Now that we're inside of Adobe Premiere Pro, we're going to need to create a new timeline. I'm going to go to this new item button at the bottom left, or the bottom right, sorry, and select New Sequence. We can just use the DSLR 1080p 30 preset located underneath Digital SLR. For the sequence name, we're just going to call this Graphics. I'm going to go ahead and press OK. Now that we've created a sequence, we can start creating our essential graphics. I'm going to go ahead and go to Window at the top of my screen and select from this menu, Essential Graphics. Now on my screen it was open already, but on yours this may have just opened up a new panel where we're able to do our graphics creation. For the bare bones of adding text, we're just going to switch over to the Edit tab over here, and I'm going to select this new layer icon on the right. From here we're going to select Text. You'll see that this automatically generated some text on our video that says New Text Layer. If I go ahead and double click on New Text Layer, you'll see that I'm able to change the text. So in here, I'm just going to say some words. Oh my goodness, look at those words. Now, just like inside of Adobe Photoshop, we're able to change some settings for our words here. For example, if I wanted to change the size of my text, I'd go down to where it says 100 right here. And if I slide that to the right, I'm going to need to go ahead and switch to my selection tool first. So selection tool right here. Then I can slide that slider to the right, and you'll see that we're able to change the size. We can move it around just by clicking and dragging on our words. So I'm just going to make this nice and big in roughly the center of our screen here. And if we want to get it really centered, we can use these align buttons on the right. I'm going to select align vertically and align horizontally right here. The last thing we're going to do for the sake of this assignment is just add a stroke onto those words. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the checkbox next to stroke, and just for the sake of visibility, we're going to switch this to a vibrant red so it's really easy for us to see. I'm going to go ahead and drag the stroke amount to the right to make it a little bit heavier of a stroke. Right around 20 is looking pretty good. And you can see that we've successfully added some words using Essential Graphics on Adobe Premiere Pro. Now to turn this assignment in, and just to make it really easy and convenient, we're going to just do the screenshot approach for this one. So using Command-Shift-4, and then we can just press spacebar and click on Adobe Premiere Pro to take our screenshot. This will save our screenshot for our project onto our desktop, where we can just grab that from our desktop and turn it in on Google Classroom the same way we turn in any other Photoshop assignment. So that's going to wrap it up Pretty simple and straightforward, just creating some new text inside of the Essential Graphics panel, and then adding a stroke onto that text, maybe making it a little bit bigger just for readability, and making that stroke bigger as well. So once we turn in that screenshot, we are all set and good to go. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and I will see you all back in class. Bye now.